Welcome to Night City.
I'm so punchy right now. I don't understand it.
Hello, Chumbas. It's Friday. And once again, we start with some tech issues. But now that they have been resolved, welcome all of you to tonight's episode of Cyberpunk Red. I am Simon at Wandering DM. I'll be GMing tonight's game. We have a player who's going to show up a little bit later. So in the meantime, we're still going to go ahead and on with the show. But before we begin, I would like to thank our sponsors, beginning with our Talsorian Games, the makers of Cyberpunk Red, which, by the way, is coming out in 26 days. 26 days for the physical copy, and I believe 21 days for so 3 weeks for the digital copy. And it is gorgeous, it is amazing, and you will not want to miss out on that. That said, I also want to thank our other sponsors, Magen Press. You can check them out at store.magenpress.com, and if you use code WanderingDM, you get 15% off your purchases. Then also, of course, Found Familiar, our meta sponsor, both in and out game. I would advise you all grab a bag of their new coffee, Goodberry. I cannot not drink it at the moment. It's like my dessert coffee and my breakfast coffee and everything, because it tastes like coffee and berries. And our other sponsor, of course, is Roll20, the platform that we use here for all of our games on Wandering DM. And I would also like to thank our partners. I'll talk a bit more about them at the end of the show, but Level Up Dice. So be sure to check them out using the links in chat or the panels down below. That said, let's go around the table, introduce our cast for tonight. We will begin with Gasp! Jimenez this week.
Wow, it's a lot of pressure. Hi, my name is Anino. I use he, him pronouns, and for this campaign I play Jimenez, the rocker boy by way of professional wrestling. Also uses he, him pronouns. And pretty much confirmed that he is, in fact, dating Trins.
Up next in our players is Jinx.
Hi, I'm Ran. Oh boy. It's one of those days. Yeah. I play Cyberpunk. I'm here to be a crazy nomad. And I don't know. Okay, move on.
Well, then our next player is, of course, our doctor, Mr. White.
Good evening, Chumbas. My name is Chris. You can find me on the internet. You find me here playing Dr. Frost, aka Mr. White. Both of us use he, him pronouns. And yeah, we'll see just how good the good doctor's doing with all these different stresses coming into play.
And lastly, the second half of our first player who introduced themselves, but also the techie of the group. I would say more importantly, the techie of the group is Trins.
Oh, hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. You know me. I'm at Digital on Twitter, or Praxagorathesmia4. You see me around here on Twitch. And I get to be Trins, your friendly neighborhood tech who can actually make it better and make it go to 11 and does actually think that everybody in Night City is just a really nice person most of the time. Unless they're actively shooting at me. But other than that, they're really, really nice. Except for Fiona, because she put Jimenez through a car window when that wasn't necessary. That was just mean. That was mean.
She's obviously working out some personal problems.
Well, speaking of throwing people through car windows, what else happened last week?
Well, there was the confrontation between Jimenez and Fiona as part of their promo. I think it was supposed to be a promo, but then it got like real personal, and Jimenez went through the front window of a car, and it was El Jefe's car, which means I think that wasn't actually planned. So that was definitely not planned, and now I have more work to fix that car. By the way, I'm fixing that car. It's a nice car. Well, it could be nice. I'm gonna do a little bit of work to it. It'll be fine. Shh, don't tell anyone. And then there was couple conversations and a plan was made to possibly, Jimenez got a phone call of somebody that wants Jimenez to beat a guy up, and they're going to meet at the Waffle House, which, I mean, fair. The Waffle House is a great place to meet, but I don't know if like planning to beat somebody up is a conversation you should be having at the Waffle House. But hey, what do I know? And then I guess the doc is being a little stressed about things because, like, he threatened to have Jimenez throw Kava off the roof because, well, we found out that Kava is one of the guys who can insert the brain dance chip for the, the chip into the eye for the, but the stupid game. Why is everyone gonna play a game when it's gonna get you dead? That doesn't sound like fun. That's not a game. That's just like murder. That's not fun. I don't think that's fun. And then I guess there was conversation about a laser that may or may not be important. I don't know. Apparently nobody's actually told me about it. I've been spending a lot of time rebuilding the SUV for Jinx so she can literally just ride it in and do the whole bit, and it'll be like a great protection and she can have it.
The game's name is Last Man Standing, and the news has also been tracking the death count due to the game, which also includes innocent bystanders, and is up in the 1700s right now.
I feel that this means it is officially not a game. Oh, and Reno put out messages to everybody in the building that they were not allowed to play the game, and that would be reasons for eviction. Which then led to the question of whether or not the Andersons are playing the game, and therefore we could evict the Andersons.
Well, you're gonna have to ask them. But that said, yes, let's go back to where we were a few moments after... well, not a few moments, the next day, actually, I'd say a few hours before the fated meeting at the Waffle House. At the end of last episode, we saw Mr. White take a great detour before going to work to give a call to someone about his person and who he was trying to be versus who he was becoming.
Someone he called Doctor or
Yeah.
Doc.
And he hung up and promptly dissolved the phone in a jar of sulfuric acid. And left to go to work. So we know that the meeting will take place early afternoon of today. But I would like to know, before we head into the meeting, was there anything that your characters wanted to do the morning of said day?
Well, Trins had to finish the work on Hellfei's car, and then she was going to work on Jinx's new SUV.
So Jimenez had been playing around on social media after a call with the head booker at NCW, goes by the name of Russo, and sort of threw it out there in the ether that he was looking for new entrance music, something with violins and less along the lines of the metal/punk genre. But after that, he was going to head down and visit Trins in the garage with lunch.
Well, then I feel like we can shift to that scene after we see Jimenez. Do you have a computer, or are you on your agent when you go on socials and all that?
He uses his agent.
Okay. So, putting his agent away, Jimenez grabs some food and walks down to the garage where we see Trins, probably under the car.
Yeah. She's probably just finished what time of day is this? Like early in the morning? Well, relatively early in the morning?
Yeah.
Probably 11.
Okay. She's probably finishing off El Jefe's car because it wasn't bad. It just, mostly needed a little bit of repairs. But she had to wait to get a couple things, namely the windshield, and so she's probably guiding the giant piece of glass for the windshield in with like the giant suckers on both sides to kind of make sure it fits perfectly. And of course it does, because she knows a guy that would have gotten her the right fit. So it's probably like just her and probably her in a tank top with the overalls like tied at her waist as she's setting this in place. And then like the interior remains of the SUV are out, so like the bench seat that's in the back, would have been in the back seat. The two bench seats that are the back seat in the way back seat are like probably seated around, so it looks like a kind of like sitting area next to the SUV for people who could actually come and talk. So that's what she's doing.
All right. So Jimenez has a plate of grilled cheese and a 6-pack of Jolt with him, and will sit down in the makeshift lounge area and kind of wait for Trins to finish what she was doing.
I think it takes her like a minute to she's really focused on making sure the glass is straight, because it doesn't, otherwise the weather stripping's gonna get fucked up and none of this is gonna work. So she takes a minute and then she kind of like slide glances at you and then does the double take. He's like, "Oh, hi, how are you? You brought lunch or breakfast? Is it breakfast for you? Are you okay? Are you feeling okay?" And she'll like kind of like walk over to him and do like the Italian mom thing of like put her hand on his head and just like kind of like, "Are you okay? Are you sure you're okay?"
Yeah, I'm okay. I just figured you could use a snack because we aren't going to Waffle House till 2, and
we're going to Waffle House? Why are we going to Waffle House?
I have that meeting with Boris.
Oh, right. Meeting thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here you go. Cheese sandwich and caffeine. It's probably been, 2 hours since your last caffeinated beverage?
Probably about that. Yes, actually.
Okay.
She's going to down that.
Okay. So he's quiet for a little bit, and then he's just going to say, I created that slacker persona for my, wrestling shtick because after Fiona had left and joined NCW, I pretty much traveled alone for the next 5 years, wrestling in territory, and usually people travel together and look out after each other, but I didn't have anybody like that, and it was just sort of a self-care thing, not to put my body through too much trauma so that I could have a longer and more comfortable career. And I didn't really have anyone I could lean on when I got really hurt. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I wanted to thank you for looking out for me last night.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could do so. Are you sure you're okay? Also, she's kind of a bitch. Why do you even want to work with her?
Well, I kind of have to. It would be weird if we just dropped the tag team without ever having a actual blow up match. But I kind of wanted to make it mean something. I don't feel like I crossed the line. I was just doing what, any good wrestler, I guess, who knows how to tell a story does, and that's sort of blur that line between kayfabe and reality, if that makes sense.
Okay, I guess. But she's actually a bitch. Not just like ring personality, like straight up actually a bitch.
Yeah, well, a lot of wrestlers, their personalities or their in-ring personas are just this, their own personalities amped up to 11. And, she believes in her own hype. And I think that if you're that good, you probably should. I just don't feel like you need to be a dick to everybody that you work with.
Yeah, that's mean. She shouldn't have been like that. Also, the next time she says that shit and I'm not wearing a dress, I will totally cut her bitch. Literally.
Oh, hey, well, he just pats her hand. I don't think we're going to need to get to that point, but I appreciate the sentiment.
I mean, like, honestly, okay, fine. Are you sure you're okay, though? Like, you should have another sandwich. And she, like, takes one of the sandwiches and, like, kind of shoves it in your face. You look hungry. You should eat something.
And it's just like a mouthful of food. Was like, oh, thanks. And he sort of just chomps patiently, but feels kind of weird about that whole scene because he made the sandwiches for her. But yeah,
I mean, she's eating one, but it's at the same time, it's like ethnic stereotype sort of thing. And I'm sorry, this is one of them. But and then she'd actually kind of sit down next to you for a little bit and then just chill as she finishes, and I'd be like, so are you gonna chill and hang out with me? Because I'm about to deep dive into this. And she points over to the SUV and be like, and possibly make a very big mess. But I would love it if you kind of hung out. Maybe.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay. You should sit, though, because you look colorful. Colorful is a term.
Yeah, I don't really think purple's my thing either.
Not that shade, at least. Definitely not that shade.
No, you're right.
Did you see the doc? Did you talk to him this morning? Maybe we should talk to the doc again.
I messaged him, but he, I think he's just busy at work. Might be.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. We'll wait till later, but okay, we're definitely gonna. That doesn't look right. And she does that thing where she doesn't quite poke. It's like that. Okay, but all right. So that's cool. And then I have to pull out and reset the internals on this. I'm gonna put an extra roll bar in though, so in case it flips over, there's actual stability in this. Also, the locking mechanism for the bike. And then she starts walking over to the SUV and has a full running commentary in technical terms of what she's actually doing. And probably doesn't react even if you don't make a comment. Like, it's like she's just accepting that everyone wants to hear what she's technically doing, whether they do or not.
You'll actually record her for a little bit as she's doing this. Probably not to post it anywhere, just because it's really funny to him.
That's fair.
I thought it was your way to take notes and remember.
She talks very fast and very loud, and really doesn't expect anyone else to keep up with her. It's fair.
That said, while this is happening in the garage, what is Jinx doing this morning?
What, around 11? She's probably sleeping. Knowing her. I don't know. We had the wrestling, and then did she go out last night? Yeah, she probably went out last night because, and if the dam's okay with this, probably went out and joined the street race, raced around a little bit, probably all night. And yeah, so she probably came back home at like 5. Yeah, when the city's starting to wake up, when the street racing gets a little more complicated, and so she's probably in her apartment sleeping. So yeah.
Then that would bring us... Quickly, the camera pans to a sleeping Jinx. And then move on to Mr. White, currently patrolling the streets of Night City, looking for a... apparently there was a heavily intoxicated person going through the streets, and they believe, well, the cops don't want to handle it. They call it like a health hazard or something. The person is not necessarily violent, but they're afraid for their safety. And they are on the trauma team bill. They have their card. So they said, hey, we'll bill it to their card and have the AV pick them up.
They're driving around drunk, or they're running around drunk?
They're running around drunk.
Right.
Well, it's not drunk. They believe that the person is either sick or off their meds or something.
Okay.
They're walking around speaking incoherently, and they're not assaulting people, but they sometimes... like, they've seen that person literally run at a wall, like a cement wall, and not stop.
So they are having a little bit of difficulty with their mental faculties. Okay. I'm assuming this is not a difficult thing to track down. If they gave us a general area, it's not like someone on foot can get that far away that fast. And with an AV, we can get a view that should provide us what we need to locate the person, as long as they didn't go indoors somewhere.
No, you will, who's the pilot? I was gonna say Boutros, but Boutros is
No,
not the
Sin.
pilot.
Sin's the pilot.
Sin's the pilot. So Sin will call out, like, when she finds them, but right before this call out happen, your agent pings you with a message from Mr. Donald. From Don.
Oh,
Oliver.
my work agent?
Yeah.
Great. Yes, Donnie, what's going on? You got good news for me?
I don't know if you're gonna call that good news, Chief, but I got news.
If it's answers and it's specifics, that's always good news. Because I can use that.
It's answers.
Answers. Good.
It's far up along the ordering chain, so I don't think Trauma Team can do anything save maybe send an angrily worded email.
Okay. I still need a name, sir.
I don't
Remember,
have names, but
I
I have
no reason to tell you or to tell anyone who I got the information from. I can be pretty resourceful, and everybody on Trauma Team knows it.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt. I couldn't find a name actually, but I found the company. I know who did the blunder.
Okay. But who ordered it?
Oh, I ordered the lot.
Oh, and it came from a company. You said it went high up the chain. What does that mean then?
Well, I normally get our stuff from stateside for not intermediary. Woof.
Yeah.
And they get it from the manufacturer in the European Union.
Yes, I know these things.
So yeah, the I had
So,
I had the warehouse here in Illinois check out what was going on, and they have the same lot as us, and nothing was open or anything, so it must have happened back
In
in
transit.
Europe. Yeah, or maybe.
I mean, it's either transport between there and you, or it happened in Europe, or they specifically targeted our shipment.
I'm thinking it might be a fluke.
Donnie, that's not what I want to hear.
Can you make a human perception check?
Yes, I can. Let me see. Dice roller, come here. Human perception. Mhm. 25.
With a 25, Donnie's keeping stuff from you. He's trying to buy time or something. Clearly, the man is nervous, but not nervous about not giving you the information. Nervous about simply speaking with you.
What has you shaken there, Donnie? Last time we spoke, you were calm. You were cool. You were dedicated to finding out this information. Right now, it sounds to me like somebody threatened your favorite poodle.
Oh no! I'm still just as dedicated, Doc. I'm. It's just I found what I found, and I think we should. I think we should leave it at that. I can talk to the bosses and.
No, there's no need to talk to them because you have nothing. You literally have nothing. So either you are omitting something, or somebody you talked to spooked you enough that you didn't ask enough questions, or I don't know what else. But you can't fool me, Donnie. I freaking talk down drug addicts from killing themselves on the regular. I don't even need to see you to know that you're freaking out a little bit. Are your palms sweaty, Donnie? Do you feel little beads of sweat on your brow or something?
I mean, look, it's.
You sound flushed to me, Donnie.
I gotta go, Frost. Yeah, I gotta go. And he hangs up on you.
I'll send them a text and say, I'll find you later about my order. I don't forget. And then we'll go find this person that is a public health crisis.
Yeah, Sin finds them easily enough. And once you start talking to the person, no check required, you realize that it is not a mental health issue. It is an electronic issue. And in that they have one too many implants in their head, enough to say that some of them are basically like crossing the wires between different, like either optical implants or memory or neurological, like neuro boosts and stuff like that.
They don't have enough power to run everything they have hooked up.
Yeah, so this person is basically trying to walk in a straight line, for example, and their muscles don't even control themselves because
Gotcha.
the brain is just freaking out.
And yeah, and they're spending a lot of energy trying to power their cyber limbs rather than their muscles.
Oh,
I get
their
it.
limbs are actually meat. It's all
Yeah,
of the
that's what I
implants
mean.
are.
Oh, they're trying to power. They're spending too much energy powering that, then so their muscles don't work. That's basically what I'm hearing. Obviously, we have their information if they flag as a trauma team carrier.
Yeah, they're trauma
So-
team silver.
Trauma team silver. Okay. So in a situation like this, what would that put me at for what they have coverage for?
So silver is, of course, you can drive them back to the nearest hospital, though it covers ground car fees at 100%.
Yeah, but this is an air unit.
Yeah, it doesn't cover air unit.
Okay.
It does cover basic on-site checkup,
Uh-huh.
and it does cover the first bullet wound,
Uh-huh.
but that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a step up from bronze. Bronze is basically just you have free rides to the hospital.
Gotcha. So,
Now, if you're not gold or platinum, it's not really worth it.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And of course, there's nothing that mentions, doing basic cyber
Yeah, no, that would
cyber repairs or maintenance.
However, I could power something down or unplug it so they can get themselves somewhere. So I'll use the first name and I'll kind of like do my best to keep their focus. And I'll explain to them what's going on. I'll be like, you have too many implants. Is it what do they go by?
So the name that you have on the trauma team card is registered under the name of Benji.
Benji?
Yeah.
Does are Benji's pronouns listed on it?
Yes, he goes by he, him.
I'll be like, excuse me, Benji. I mean, sir, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I know you're looking into the visor, so look at your own eyes, reflecting back at you. Look at those. Focus. Focus. Good. Good. You have too many implants in your head. I have to decrease the load on your brain, and then you need to get to a hospital.
I need to get these implants to someone. And you see they try to get back up and just fall back down.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you're closer to them, you can see that their head sort of lulls, as if the weight of the skull was too much for the neck muscles.
Do I know about anybody who might be using this guy as a mule to transport cyberware?
Oh, that could definitely be a possibility.
Because that's the vibe I'm getting right now. Is that he's trying to mule them somewhere for a quick buck and didn't realize how fucked up it's going to leave him if he didn't have them turn them off. Like deactivate them, put them in inert, and then he could carry him. But obviously, he didn't know what he was doing. So, what I'm gonna, my thought is, my first thought was whether or not the Brainiacs know anything about this, especially because I know they're looking for parts right now.
They would definitely know. Of all
Mhm.
the booster gangs,
Yeah.
the Brainiacs are, I would say, in the top 2 who would know most
Gotcha.
about cybertech.
What I'm gonna do is staying within that on-site treatment and wellness check element.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have Boutros stabilize his neck, but with basically one of those waist up the boards that go from your neck down to basically your waist.
Yeah, okay.
To keep you from having any sort of neck tension, so you don't break something if there's like a pinched nerve or a fused vertebrae, and keep him as immobilized, at least the upper half as immobilized as possible. I need to check on something, because I think what we might have run into here could potentially be something that NCPD needs to handle instead of us. So give me a second while I see where this gentleman needs to go. And you'll see Frost turn around and he'll pull his helmet off and stand like in the like near the door, but with it facing away, and he'll pull his other agent out and he'll call up the librarian.
Hello.
Hey, do you know of anybody who's muling cyberware right now? Like, who's sending it through some...
Nope. Give me 2 seconds. And you hear, like, shuffling, you hear things, both plastic and metal, just go flying around. It looks like he's, like, flipped an entire tray of silverware or something. And he gets his... You hear the sound of, like, a hand fumbling for the phone and hitting the microphone of the agent multiple times. And he picks back up and says, White.
Why? Because I got a guy here on the street.
Who are you?
You know who I am.
Yeah, White.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Mules. We don't have mule.
I got a guy here on the street with too much cyberware in his head, and he's babbling about having to get it to somebody.
I'd love to take him off your hand.
Yeah, I want to know who they belong to, though, because I don't want to put you into a gang war. We got other business. Your business.
What does he have?
What?
What does he have? What's he
I don't know.
carrying?
It's all in his head. Every bit of it is in his head.
Open him up.
His trauma team card doesn't cover surgery, and I'm not about to give him an unnecessary charge for something like this.
Too kind, White. You're too kind.
Yeah.
We don't have any mules currently running the streets, so it's not one of ours.
Who else? Who's your competition for that kind of thing? And I'll look at this guy's card again, because it's only silver, so it's not like he's some sort of rich kid trying to make a buck for some higher end corporate thing.
No, this person looks like a from what you can see of them, how they present themselves, they are probably a bit more well off than living in the streets or squatting.
Okay.
But not so much as owning multiple outfits or a lot of change of clothes in their lives. So they're wearing this like stained, almost moth-eaten poncho over a long-sleeved, sort of like a Under Armour, like a jogging long-sleeve shirt, and jeans that are torn, and you notice underneath the jeans they have like 3/4 pants made of very thin material.
Okay.
And they are wearing Crocs.
Interesting. So they're really not. So they got to be running for a booster gang. They're not running for anything fancy. Not looking like that. And running their name, do I get anything? Just like through the database. I don't get any hits on any priors or anything like that.
Nope,
I have to
they've
worry
never.
about.
They registered the card 3 years ago, and they've never used it so far.
No, but I mean running their identity through NCPD, because we're told to do that to make sure we don't have someone who's dangerous.
Oh,
and need to turn them over.
Yeah, there's like a plethora of misdemeanors.
Okay, so repeat offender, but low level.
Yeah.
What part of town do these happen in?
A little bit everywhere, actually.
Okay.
It's mostly around all the districts that surround city center. They never go farther out.
So they don't go into the burbs.
Oh no, they've never been seen or arrested. If they do, they've never been arrested in the burbs.
Then they probably haven't gone to the burbs. All right. Then it'll be pretty quick then. I
just want to check as far as, depending on the type of implants that they have.
I mean, just the ones I can see. I'm not cracking them open.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they are in any way affiliated with one of the how can I say that? One of the lookalikes, the
Oh yeah.
the poser gangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't look like anyone that could have been, a famous person before, or anything of the sort. Their implants are not visually disgusting enough to be part of the Maelstrom gang.
Yeah.
They're
obviously not part of the butchers. Otherwise
they are not part of the butchers.
None of the auto thieves like the Cadillacs or anybody like that either, because
none of the go gangers. That leaves about just one gang that could potentially be it.
Okay, and that is
one that operates it's the Red Chrome Legion, called the Red Chromers.
Okay, and are they somewhere in this vicinity, like walkable?
The thing with them is that they are almost impossible to find.
They stay moving.
It's not that they don't have a hideout, it's a movement.
Yeah.
More than a gang. It's
gotcha.
a movement of warlike neo-fascists who will often use like more publicly acceptable routes to get their stuff. But they're basically slowly building a tiny army somewhere for,
whatever.
Whenever, the end of the world or what have you that they want to do happens.
Gotcha. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to have Sin call for a bus, have them bring in a ground transport, We're gonna send this dude to the nearest hospital, and we will stay here and finish his on-site treatment. As soon as the bus gets here, we'll pass him off and we'll go on our way. And I'll just let the librarian know that it's probably the chromas from everything that I can, the White can tell. And if they are interested, that they can get him whenever he exits the hospital, and I'll just give him the name.
Right.
But you never know what to do, or you should never underestimate people of conviction. They will do things that other gangers won't, and they will choose to let things go that other gangs won't. So if you make that decision, make it tactically. I don't see anything on this guy that makes it worth starting a war. Got it?
Got it.
But you should
We'll
be
keep an eye
aware
out.
they're sending cyber mules around, so they're infringing on your territory.
We'll keep an eye out.
All right. If you end up tracking their movements and figuring anything out, let me know. I can always pass things off to NCPD if you want to end up giving them hell.
Can you roll a D10,
Sure.
please?
D10.
Yeah.
5.
5. All right. So, the ambulance arrives within 5 minutes, which is surprising.
Which is, well, Frost doesn't think that's surprising. He called them. So
They
he's
get the guy,
Mhm.
bring him into the almost into the ambulance
Uh-huh.
when the person's head explodes,
Oh, shit.
sending a shower of shrapnel in every direction.
What the fuck?
The heavy trauma team armor, the suits that you're wearing,
Yeah.
basically protects you from most of the shrapnel. You are, however, since you're not standing right next to them, you're gonna take 4, like past your armor, 4
Like
points
concussive
of damage.
damage or like cuts?
Those are cuts.
Okay.
And because the concussive force, you're too far away. The 2
Gotcha.
ambulance workers, though,
That's who I'm worried about.
yeah, they took the full brunt of the force, the concussive force, and the shrapnel, and they were lifted off their feet and thrown back a few feet.
Then that's who my attention's on right now.
Everyone is screaming, panicking, running.
Everyone.
The bystanders. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say if that ambulance crew is panicking, they obviously are new,
No,
and my crew wouldn't panic.
The 2 of them are holding their face.
Gotcha.
In pain.
I'm hoping that the helmets took the brunt of it though.
One of them has there's going to be a little graphic. One of them has a shard, like a sliver of steel, through the helmet and into his left eye.
Okay. So
The other
prioritize
one-
that.
The other one, the faceplate is shattered, but they're okay. Like, they have minor cuts on their face. They're bleeding profusely.
It's
but
mostly
it's not.
shock right now that we
Yeah.
have to worry about. I'll have Boutros start triage on him. I'll start triage. I'll throw my helmet back on and start triage on the other guy. And I'll call for Bo and Pilar to clear the area, make sure that it wasn't someone with a detonator device. Have Sin try and lift off for a bit and let her and Maddie scope out the area and look for any hostiles. If anybody's nearby that seems to be lingering and shouldn't, I'll leave it to Maddie's discretion as to whether or not they are a threat. But I am not fucking around right now with 2 of our own down.
She takes off after your orders. You won't need to roll first aid. I know you have plenty enough to help that person. But I would like you to roll... Is there deduction again, or am I missing the...
Yeah, there's deduction. It's under intelligence.
Yes, deduction, please. As you're working on this person.
Okay, I can do that. 22.
So with a 22, you realize as you help this person, the sliver that was in their eye, that still has to remain there until surgery. There's a lot of shrapnel around, and you correctly deduce that the weight this person had on their head was because of these like armored plates around the skull.
Mm-hmm.
But the way
Which is why I couldn't scan anything.
But the way the shrapnel appears, because normally, you know, armored plating will survive a grenade. It won't break into pieces.
True.
So it would have had to have been pre-broken and like fitted in like a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
As you're working.
So I'm pretty sure this was on purpose.
Mm-hmm. You keep working on the 2 ambulance workers, and Boutros comes to you and says, the other guy's going to be fine. The NCPD's been notified by Sin. They're going to be here any second. I found this, and he hands you a burnt chip the size of a micro SD card.
Mm-hmm.
It's burnt to a crisp,
Mm-hmm.
but it is the same shape, the same size as the Last Man Standing chips.
Okay. I mean, but that's also very similar in the different sizes for different some of the other eye implants, though, right?
Yes.
For some of the other boosts, like some of them take additional equipment, but like the one I have is just for projecting information across what's already there. That's going to be the same size as that.
Yeah, it's just you know, not so much a coincidence with all the recent events.
It's a reasonable
assumption.
I'll be like, okay, give them when NCPD arrives, make sure they get that. They can make their own deductions on it. Just tell them that you thought it was interesting in the light of all the other events, and you wanted to make sure it did not get lost because it's small. And the silver card that we took off the guy when we verified.
Will do. And looking at
don't give him anything else, though.
Okay. Looking at your agent, you realize that it is nearing 2 p.m.
Yeah. I'm going to call in. Once everybody's stabilized, I'm going to call in for relief AV and tell dispatch that my team needs to be checked out for traumatic stress, and we are leaving. Boutros, leave it with the guy that's going to be fine. We're getting out of here. We've had enough of a terrible day. You guys are going to be good. As soon, and I'm sure they're going to be here any minute, right? Actually, don't leave it with them. We'll pass it off to whoever gets here first. The next AV or NCPD. That's what we'll do.
All right. And
I don't wait for dispatch to tell me anything. I just tell them what we're doing. Per protocol, and I'll quote the protocol and call it a day.
that said, we'll rewind the clock back now that she's here. Reno.
Hello, I have
Hi.
made it. I've arrived. We also have a massive thunderstorm going on behind us. So you might hear that, and hopefully my power doesn't go out. So.
Good to know. So we are on the day of the fated meeting with Yuri at the Waffle House. It's at 2 p.m., but I wanted to know if Reno was doing anything during the morning.
She's a little skeptical that this is going to go as smoothly as we would like. She is kind of just putting on like her better body armor that she wears, kind of more. Everybody's armed in Night City, but more what is the word?
Covert?
Covert arming of herself, kind of thing.
Okay.
Just getting ready, getting a little warmed up, doing some kickboxing maybe. Getting ready to defend if shit goes down.
Cool. So we'll forward the clock to almost 2 p.m. as the group makes their way to the Waffle House, where they ought to meet Mr. Potemkins. When you arrive at the Waffle House, however, it is empty. Well, empty of patrons. The workers are there, they're working, but there's nobody else but you five going in. You still have a few minutes before 2 o'clock. So if you want to set up or anything, now's your chance.
Oh, might as well grab a table while we're here.
Window, booth, slides in, doesn't even pick up a menu, just kind of waves at the woman who's coming over to take the order, who is, I'm gonna say, one of the career Waffle House waitresses. So she's got like the big giant name tag with like 16 different pins come off of it, and it's like she's been there since 2030, so she's been here for like 15 years. An employee, and Chins is just straight up Texas cheesesteak melt, hold the onions, plate scattered, covered well, hold the pickles. Unsweet tea and a coffee. Thanks.
She doesn't even note it down. She just memorizes it instantly. Turns to the rest of you. What are y'all be having?
Coffee.
Two eggs and bacon and coffee and some potatoes.
Oh, bacon, yes. Get some bacon as well.
She wants an all-star with the bacon, hold the sausage. Wheat or rye? No, you want wheat. And bacon straight on the side. Scattered well for her, and just make them go all the way. She deserves it all the way.
Trin speaks another language completely.
Carl, do you
The language
understand
of
any
ordering
of this?
at Waffle House.
She was going to protest, but then we're just like, fuck it. Let her
Go with
go.
what she
Let her
said.
go.
Yeah.
What can I say? Trins knows her Waffle House.
I guess so. I'm not
Just,
hungry, but
Just two bacon biscuits for me, I guess.
I'll just do coffee. Leave
All
the
right.
pot.
I'll be back in a moment. And she leaves, and she basically repeats, like, verbatim everything that was said to the team.
No, she doesn't.
I don't know how it works.
She goes through the Waffle House call, which is a thing and an experience, and would not sound. It sounds half of what Trin said because Trin's knows to order so that they can shorten the call, but there's a whole means of ordering at the Waffle House.
Another
and it doesn't
language.
actually. Yeah, it is.
So she
for
too
those of you who-
speaks in a weird language. And before you get your plates brought to you, Jimenez, you would recognize the next person that comes in. The man from the hospital. He looks around and he looks around, sees you, points at you, and immediately comes over. Are these your friends?
Yes, they are. Hope you didn't mind. Just I make it a point not to travel by myself.
White will get up and offer him the seat with the booth, and he'll grab a chair and turn it around and sit on the outside.
Does he do it Frake style?
No,
He's
he's not that cool.
So he sits down and introduces himself as Yuri Potemkins.
Yeah, I remember. How are you holding up, Yuri? It's been a few days since I last saw you.
His eyes are still puffy and red. And he doesn't look like he slept much. He says, and his hands are shaking. I'm holding up. I'm holding up, he says. You've given me hope that justice can be done.
Okay. Look, I want to help you. Contrary to my career, I don't necessarily think everything is solved by chairs to faces. So, why don't you tell me why you think that beating up your son's doctor would help you?
Oh, it's not the doctor. It's the guy that who's responsible for everything. It's him.
That's an excellent way to go. Be focused on the root of the cause, but a name is much more helpful than than that description, sir.
Yeah, I have a name. It's
Oh, go on.
Flank. Edward Flank.
Antissa.
Patient.
Edward.
Edward Flank. It's because I'm also looking at my notes to make sure I get the right name.
Ah, yes.
They're written in very small font.
I'm sorry, you said Edward Flank?
Edward
Yes.
Flank.
It's the same person, the Carl that I was telling you about.
What car?
Carl.
Oh, Carl. Not
Yes.
car. Okay.
Yeah, it's him. I went ahead and scheduled a meeting. I told them I would come tonight to join the game to avenge my son. But instead, it's not gonna be me. It's gonna be you, right? And you're gonna...
Why did he agree to meet with you?
I told him my story, and he agreed. He's probably thinks he's untouchable or some shit, and he just wants people to kill themselves. So, hey, what if a bereaved father wants to join his fucking little game and wants to kill more people? It's just a big win for him. I think that's what got him to meet with me.
Why is you joining the stupid game that is totally not a game and not safe and not a good thing a win?
To
That
him?
does not seem wise.
If he wants
Yeah, but
people
why is
to...
it a win?
Well, what if he wants
Why are
people
you
to kill
important?
themselves?
Yeah, but why are you important?
I'm not
For
important.
you to be, then you can't. Then he can't be a win for him if you're just another schmuck like the rest of us.
Well, he wanted
There's
to
a
meet
point.
with me. He
Then
said that...
obviously you have something that he wants, and that sounds real stupid to do that.
I told him... I don't know how these things work. I'm not a night runner or whatever.
That much is clear. Nobody's trying to say you are, sir. Carl, this is your friend. I apologize for being so rude and butting into your conversation.
Can I make a human perception check?
Yeah. Go right ahead.
So basically, Jimenez is just thinking that it seems kind of weird that this guy would know who's running the Last Man Standing game, and is kind of suspicious of possibly being involved as a part of a setup to somehow get him involved in it as well.
Make your roll.
Keep doing that. 15.
On a 15, you would know that Yuri is completely out of his element. He obviously did not tell you how he came across the name of Edward Flank. But there has to have been a way. If he's withholding this information out of ulterior motive, that you can't know for sure. But if there's one hole in his story, it's that one. For the rest, he seems too raw to be able to fabricate a story.
Okay. I just kind of watch. What's going on?
So Yuri, you're right. You're not a night runner, and I don't doubt that you're grieving, but finding or knowing the name of someone who's running something as large as Last Man Standing isn't common knowledge. So there's something telling me that you're holding back on information that would actually be critical.
I didn't think it would be... I didn't think it would matter much to the story, but and your food arrives at the same time, and he just waves no to the the waitress as she is about to ask him what he wants, and he says, "My Boris and I were not on the best of terms on most occasions. I'm not the easiest father, and he did not make it easy on me either. So, I knew Boris was getting into things. I found synth coke in his room. Too much for someone who just uses, and I figured he was trying to get into a gang or something. And you know what they say about the booster gangs. He was bound to get killed, so I hired a private investigator to follow him around. I wanted to know who his friends were and what he was doing, and make sure I knew where he was. And then I was going to call the NCPD and let them know where his friends were and whatever, and have them all arrested. Maybe that would be his wake-up call. Last night we fought, had a big argument, and he hung up on me. So after a few hours, I called the cops and asked them to go check on them. I shouldn't have waited a few hours. I should have. And you see his eyes start to well up. I should have called them right away. I did.
White interrupts him and puts a hand on his shoulder and goes, "Yuri, this isn't your fault."
But if
No. No, it isn't your fault. You did not do this to your son.
If it wasn't for the fucking game, the NCPD would have found him, you know, alive, not murdered. So yeah. So I had the PI give me all the info and look
What
into
PI?
some more shit.
Who'd you pay?
Calls himself Michael.
Michael. Thank you.
Yeah.
We need to be able to check the sources because we can't run into a trap. I'm sure you understand.
That works. That's yeah. I have his card here, and he hands you like a business card that's been folded and unfolded multiple times. It's almost like falling apart.
I'll take it from his hand, and I will then shake his hand and tell him thank you. And then I'll actually turn around in my seat, or I'll pour the cup of coffee and I'll put it in front of him, and I'll turn around in my seat and start seeing what I can figure out while they're doing more talking.
All right.
Do you have Boris's agent by any chance?
The NCPD told me that his entire place had been ransacked. I haven't gone there yet, so I don't know. I'm supposed to go to the morgue tomorrow, but I just... Did I do things out of order? I don't know what I'm supposed to feel anymore.
In that case, don't make any important decisions if you're not sure what you're feeling. That seems a bad thing. And this is me saying that, so obviously this is weird. But maybe you shouldn't be meeting with any weird people that are probably going to try and threaten your life and or kill you when you're feeling emotionally vulnerable and attacked. And therefore, don't keep this meeting. That's my suggestion at the moment.
Wait, this meeting here, and he goes to get up from the table.
Not, and she like puts her hand up. Not this present tense meeting. The meeting you're talking about where you're planning to get joined a game that isn't a game that's stupid.
I wasn't going to go. And he looks to Eminis. That's where you come in. To beat this guy up. Right? I'm not hiring a killer. I want justice for Boris. I've been told that you people work for money when you do that, so I have some money. It was supposed to be Boris's college funds, but and he types something on his agent and he passes it off to Jimenez. And you see the summary of his bank account. There's
he's just going to turn off the agent and slide it back to him. Listen, I'm not really the type to just throw punches at people without a sure reason to do that. But the game has been on our minds for over the past couple of days, so I think it's good that we met because you've given us a lead in order for us to track things down and investigate it further. And we're going to do that. But I just don't think punching this guy is going to make you feel better. I think what needs to be done is that this just doesn't happen to anybody else.
Are you gonna kill him?
No, I'm not going to kill him.
Oh, thank God.
There's a moment where Trins turns and looks at both Reno and Jinx and is like,
Just saying, I'm available.
I mean, hi.
I mean, one step at a time. Okay, we don't need to rush this.
White'll say, with his back still turned, we can go and see what he has to say. But right now is not the time to make a move on someone that big.
But you know, when we finish here, if you want, we can accompany you to your son's apartment and help you check it out. There might be something there that we could learn.
I don't know any of you, but he looks to him and as I thank you. I don't think I would have been able to do it alone, and you really, really don't have to do that.
No, it's fine. I think we might be able to find something there that will help us. And it might help you too. So,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And I think he would like grab the pot of coffee that's been sitting on the table and just like drink from it.
No, Frost put his cup in front of the guy and gave it to him. Already
Then
full.
from the cup.
You
Frost is not
when,
drinking coffee.
When was the last time you ate something? You need to eat something.
I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry.
Miss Andrea, he needs a full plate. Like now.
Slide everything that I haven't eaten over. Just it's just a very long, slow push all the way to the end of the table. Very loud.
He'll pick at it. Like maybe eat like a few strips of bacon, but that's it.
Jimenez isn't going to say anything because he doesn't want to stir up trends anymore.
All right. Well, then we're gonna move the clock forward as we go to break and fade to when you get to Boris's apartment. But that's gonna be when we come back. So stick around, everyone. We'll be back in a handful of minutes. Bye bye. Hello, I got the wrong button on my stream deck, so you were treated to a black window for a second. Hi, we're back. And we're at the apartment of one Boris Potemkins. However, for all the players, you should know that the PI's sheet is in Roll20 under Dramatis Personae. It is Michael, so you can find him.
No, you have to be honest. What is the character's name, Simon? Let the players at home need to know who this is.
Yes. So Michael Walters Smith is a private investigator that goes on the street by the name Maximum Mike. And it is Mike Pondsmith. If you need a reference, look up a picture of Mike Pondsmith. It's him. It's even his mini from Monster Fight Club. So, yes.
Daddy Mike.
He's now officially in the game. But that said, a quick search on the city network would net you his image, his address, and like a contact form for his agency.
I'm more worried about his reputation.
Oh, he gets stuff done. He's an ex-NCPD investigator that left the force 10 years ago. And he's been working the streets of Night City ever since, specializing in kidnappings and disappearances.
Excellent. That's fine. But there's like no angry people about being double-crossed, anything like that?
Nope.
Or bad intel?
No, there's like the bad reviews would be about his lack of tact and diplomacy.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
And also that his rates are too expensive.
People who are good get paid.
That's it.
All right.
But otherwise, yeah, people are very satisfied for what few have left good reviews, because you're gonna have a lot more negative reviews than positive ones.
Rock on.
So that said, you reach the apartment complex of where Boris used to live. It's on the east side of Night City, and it's this 10-story high tower with multiple apartments on every floor. Boris lived on the 8th floor, and you go up in the elevator that's been heavily graffitied, and probably shouldn't bring blacklight in there. The corridors of the complex are filled with trash and broken furniture that people have just left out and that nobody seems to clean. The walls are yellowed with age and water damage. Cables and cords are seen hanging from the ceiling where the how would you call like the cheap like fake ceiling you have in office buildings? It's made like a
drop ceiling?
Yeah, the
Or
drop
drop
ceiling.
ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many tiles of the drop ceilings are missing. You're pretty sure you saw a rat run along one of the electrical cables as you walk to the apartment. He's on at address 872, and it's easy to find. When you approach it, there is a big yellow sticker across the door of police crime scene, NCPD. Do not enter. Tape, I should say, not sticker.
Is the door open or is it?
It's closed. And it's opened with a keypad. There's no actual lock on it. He says that's Yuri says that's where Boris used to live.
Do you have the combination to your son's lock?
Yeah. Yeah, I know
Then
it.
it's not breaking and entering. You are entering because you are part of the premises, and therefore we're just following you.
And he presses on a few of the keys, and the little light at the top, instead of flashing red, turns off and then lights up green as you hear it, and a he says it's open, and he takes a few steps back, not wanting
Prince
to
also
come
steps
first.
back and then kind of quasi steps behind Reno and Jinx. Because they have heavier armor, and if it goes boom, then she's not gonna get
Scaredy cat.
smart. I'm not getting shot anymore.
I mean,
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
bad. I would not be happy with that.
I am glad that you would not be happy with me getting shot. And she kind of smiles at him.
I think we're all happy that you're not getting shot.
See, that's good too.
I mean, what kind of boyfriend would like if his girlfriend got shot?
Not a sane one.
All right, I go in first.
You open the door, and I want you all to make a perception check.
Oh, cut that out.
So I'm looking for a 14 or above.
I got 17.
12.
29.
A perception?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's under intelligence.
20.
All right, 29, 20, 12, 17, and...
I don't know what that read. 14. There we go.
Well, 14 with a 1, so not
I know.
14.
Yeah, exactly. Not enough.
So White and Jimenez, the only thing... Yes?
I was just going to say, Jimenez was too busy checking out his social media. That's just why he wasn't paying attention. Just wanted to see what folks were saying about last night, and then his earlier tweet.
You're absorbed by your agent. Mr. White realizes that his nightshades kind of don't let him peer into a darkened apartment that well, while
My mirror shades are fine. I'm watching the door.
the other three would notice
Huh?
a pool of blood a mere few feet behind the door. The rest of the apartment is in perfect condition. There's a few blood splatter on the far outer wall, so when you come in, it's an open area. You have two doors on each side, one that leads to the bathroom, one that leads to the bedroom. And then the apartment opens up with kitchen and living space. It looks a lot like your apartment, like the same layout as your apartment, except that it is the bedroom and the bathroom are smaller, whereas the living space and the kitchen are bigger. And basically on the far outer wall of the apartment, opposite the entrance door, with your checks, you can see tiny specks of blood. And all of you would have seen it, a bullet hole.
Are we already in the?
You've just opened the door. I'm just describing what you see from that point of view.
I'm taking my pistol out, just kind of like, and I'm gonna walk in and scope the place out.
You walk in first.
Else is here.
Huh?
And hoping nobody else is here with us.
You walk in first, and you immediately swipe left and right to look into the bathroom and the bedroom. You notice that the bedroom is in disarray, but it's not suspiciously so. Like, it looks like someone's been living in a mess more than someone made a mess. The sink of the bathroom is not filled with, but there are quite a number of used needles in the sink. And the small pharmacy with a mirror just right above the bathroom sink is open, and you can see in there a lot of drugs. Most of them not street drugs, but probably not legally acquired. But looking real quick, you can see that there are like bottles of morphine in there. There are bottles of various pills whose labels have been torn off. So you just have like multicolored pills in a few vials. But nobody in the shower, nobody in the bathroom, nobody in the bedroom. As you take a few steps forward, the kitchen and the living room are both unoccupied. On the corner of the wall that basically leads to the living room, so you would be at most 10 feet from the door. There is a shotgun that's been propped up against the wall. Just left there as if someone just left it there. It is cocked and ready.
I'm gonna on, I don't know the gun terminology. Reno would undo the cocking.
Yeah, you just have to do the chick, and it'll eject the cartridge. Well, I mean, you're gonna have to do it a few
Unload the
times.
gun.
I grew up on a
unload it.
farm. I feel like I should know this shit.
But yes, it's a shotgun, so basically you have to do this motion to uncock it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Do you?
I'm sorry, what
If it's
motion was
pump,
that
if
again?
it's pump action, you have to pump it.
Yeah, it is a pump action shotgun. You just have to pump it for
real good.
Yeah, for, you know, if you want to get all the bullets out, you just have to pump it good. And keep a firm hand on it. You don't want it to go off prematurely.
Oh my god, I'm crying.
Actually, you don't want it to go off at all because that would be painful.
Yeah, especially don't aim it at your face while
That
you're
load
doing
packs
that,
a lot of power.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone stop me, please.
I mean, it depends. Is it a fully packed load?
I can't.
I mean,
Oh, it's
if it's a light
I'm
load,
turning
it's not
around
going
right
to pack
now.
that much.
it's filled with buckshot, so it's gonna be like it's gonna make a large, like,
Yeah,
wide, splatter
yeah. There you go.
if you shoot the load that's inside.
That's a pretty heavy load.
Yeah. Hi.
Yep.
Welcome to Night
So-
City After Dark.
So we have Reno unloading a shotgun in the living room. What are you all four of you are doing?
I'll wave y'all in, by the way, once I've, like, made sure somebody's not waiting to shoot us.
I'm checking this. Okay, so the blood pool, is that like dried?
It is dry.
Okay. Then then Trins is immediately going through the bullet hole in the wall.
You go straight for the bullet hole.
Yep. And then, cause she's gonna take from that the trajectory and where things are, everything that you can find out about the shot, and then start ripping this place apart to see if there's anything hidden here. Cause she knows construction. She also knows construction like shitty apartments like this. She knows where you can hide shit. And a drop ceiling is so easy to hide shit in, people.
Yeah. His barely have a few tiles left. But you so you look first at the bullet hole. It's not that wide. Not a shotgun blast for sure. But the caliber of it, you've been to NCPD shooting ranges. You don't have extensive knowledge of bullet holes and forensic
Yes,
sciences.
I do. I have weapons tech.
Oh, well, fuck. Then make that weapons tech check.
Wait, hold on. I have to check something before I roll it, because I need to see my... Yes, that's what I thought. I didn't add the thing. There we go. Cool. Now it's correct. Now that macro is correct. That's a 25 on our weapons tech.
It's a very heavy pistol. Not any kind of very heavy pistol. It is the same caliber of bullets, caseless shells, that you would find in NCPD issued secondary arms.
Did they police the brass? Or not the brass. Did they take the bullet out the wall?
They did. Someone went in and took it out, and you would know with that high of a check that in order for the bullet to go through someone, that person would have needed to be very close to the cannon when it was fired. As
the next
in
question
unsuspectingly close.
Yeah, then the next question is the angle mostly straight, or is it like shot from the hip up and the angle is up through from where the person would have been standing?
The angle is slightly downward. So the person that fired the gun
was significantly taller.
Taller
like,
than the victim, yeah.
At least 12 inches taller.
And judging by the height of the bullet hole, they were probably shot through the stomach.
Cool.
Oh, well, no, not cool, but...
I mean, it could be worse. Technically, that's survivable. The doc could fix that. It's not like they got shot in the head. Although it still kind of sucks.
Jimenez is just going to pause for a moment. The report said this was ruled as a suicide.
Yeah. No.
Not only that, the report said that it was a chemical burn in the face.
This is Boris Timkin's apartment, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yuri,
You'll actually see White like look at the door and then look outside and look at the other doors of the other apartments, trying to make sure they're in the right place.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Is there any, like, she's gonna start, I don't smell it. She's looking for chemicals now because this is a straight up shot to the gut. This is a gut shot. Shitty asshole. That's literally her comment. That was a shitty asshole thing to do.
Yeah, Yuri is outside, holding on to the opposite wall of the apartment, of the corridor, and holding his other hand to his mouth and sobbing.
Yuri, I'm sorry. And she's gonna like walk over to him and go, but you're standing in the hallway. Somebody could shoot you there. And she's gonna pull him inside and close the door. I'm really, really sorry about this.
Is shocked, doesn't resist, but the moment he's in the apartment, he'll just wander into his son's bedroom. A very haggard expression on his face.
Close the door.
So the doctor at the hospital was working on Boris. Must have filled out the paperwork to line up the medical record with the idea that there's a chemical burn.
Can you
Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Jimenez, you saw that boy in the hospital.
Yeah, I did.
You were there. You saw, because that's when you bumped into Yuri the first time.
Right.
You saw the burn.
And he was burnt in the face. Like, severely.
Yeah, this doesn't line up. And we searched a bit. There wasn't any sense of chemicals around here, other than maybe the drugs in the bathroom.
Oh, and a cursory search of his apartment would reveal that the strongest chemical he has is bleach.
I'm gonna check the sinks.
Oh, yeah. And I'll remind you that when you check the patient notes, like, the chemical that was used was akin to napalm.
Mm-hmm.
It stuck to his face and ate through it. So something doesn't add up, clearly.
Do you say that?
Yeah, Jimenez will repeat the information that he had gathered from the medical records and the police report that was attached to it.
And then she'd just kind of side-eye the dad for a minute and then turn and like kind of walk over to you and whisper, or as close to whispering as Chins gets, are we sure that was actually Boris? Because if they chemically ate away his face, would his dad even know who it was?
I think the only way to find out would be to accompany him to the morgue next.
Okay, I get to tell the doc, you get to tell Reno. And she's gonna go, hey, Doc?
Find him over by the sinks. Whatever one he finds first. There should be a kitchen sink and a bathroom sink, yes?
Yeah.
Or does he only have one?
Do you want the one with the used needles in it, or the one that doesn't have the used needles, but it has a pile of dishes?
I don't care. Whatever was closest would have been, so probably the pile of dishes.
Yeah.
I'm looking for any signs of burns. Because when White got curious, he went in and looked at the chart. Wellington is a good doctor, but he's also predictable, so White figured out his password.
There are no signs of burns anywhere in this. Well, sorry. The only signs of burns that you find in the entire apartment are on the one stovetop that he has. And it's burnt from, like, burnt remains of burnt food.
I'm looking for the chemical burns for where this supposedly happened.
There are none.
So even... Okay. So, yeah, Trins is probably interrupting as he's looking at the second sink.
So, I have a question, Doc. This guy got shot. Whoever was in this space got shot in the gut, and the bullet they took, and it was probably a bad thing. But how sure are we that the guy in the hospital is actually Boris? Because if he got medical, chemical burns to the face, and there were raw line ID, I don't think his dad might be able to tell if he was really fucked up.
Now, the only way they can bill is if they have positive ID for anything like that. So they would have gotten a DNA sample. Otherwise, they can't get the money back.
Okay.
I mean, admittedly, you could fake a DNA sample.
I mean, yeah, it's not that hard to mess with the equipment. I didn't say that. But I guess the other thing is,
So if you're going to go that far, you are dreaming up some sort of grand conspiracy that takes multiple organizations that don't really like each other.
so
That
which
would
is
make
the better?
Boris some sort of like key to unlock everybody's dirty secrets. And I'm sorry, no offense to Yuri, but his boy isn't that special.
No, nobody's special, Doc. But he might know something that he didn't think he knew. But more importantly, Doc, your friends in the hospital, they know the difference between chemical burns to the face and being gut shot by a 9mm unbrassed NCPD weapon.
Yes. But
So,
that doesn't change the cause of death. A gut shot doesn't kill you right away. If they burned his face and he still died in transit on the bus or died on the operating table, because they would have not operated on someone that wasn't alive.
This is true. But if they didn't mention the gunshot in the hospital record at all,
I didn't look for a gunshot
but
because I wasn't told that there was a gunshot.
But
Last we
Jimenez
heard
did.
from Carl was it was a nasty death. So I saw the chemical burn thing, and I just went with it. That was also what Wellington told me. Dude's
Okay, well-
pissed.
well,
So-
Jimenez's expression is pretty dark. So Wellington's lying about something.
I doubt it. And he calls, literally. Pulls out his
No,
work
I-
phone, and he calls
no.
Wellington.
Jimenez is going to put his hand over the agent. No, we should talk to him personally.
And he pulls away and goes, I know this dude.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
But Doc, I'm totally okay with you calling him. He's your friend. You
ringing.
want to talk? Maybe not in here.
Yellow.
And there's
Hey, Welly, it's Frost.
Oh,
How you doing?
uh,
I know that losing that kid on that table messed you up a bit.
I'm on break. I still have a few minutes. What's
I'm checking on you to make sure you're still same old Welly. That kind of thing can mess you up, especially when you found out that your meds are sabotaged.
Yeah, that was a whole lot of.
It wasn't your fault.
I know. Thanks for checking in, though.
Yeah.
HR told me that I should take a few days off, but it's all unpaid. I can't afford that.
Yeah, that's what happens. Hey, I got a question for you. Was there anything weird about that case other than the meds?
Define
and the face.
define weird.
Like multiple types of trauma that don't seem to add up. That's weird.
No, there was just the burnt face. I mean, it's like someone threw a. It's like someone threw a.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to relive it, man.
But no
All right.
other trauma. That combination just ate through him.
Yeah,
And
that
and
makes
yeah, the
sense.
bad batch that just adds compounds to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When's your shift end? I'll buy you a drink.
I still have 10 hours to go.
10? They put you on the late shift? Or are you picking up for somebody?
No, I'm just. I wanted to show that I'm not affected, so I took it.
Yeah, so you're overcompensating. HR will fire you for that because you'll get sloppy. It happens to everybody, not because you're a bad doc.
Yeah, just I don't want to be.
They're not
I need that
going
job.
to think anything less of you. I know.
I just don't want to lose it.
Mhm.
I need the job.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
understand.
my break's almost over. I'll catch up with you. Maybe take a rain check for that drink.
I'll see you soon, Willie.
Sure. Thanks for calling.
No problem.
And can
Now.
you make a human perception check?
Sure, I can do that. Potentially. $27.
Okay. 2
I'm
seconds.
like dialed in on people, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the second time I crit on that.
Something's preoccupying him. Something's
No.
bothering Wellington, and it's not the death.
Case.
The-
Yeah,
it's,
no. I figured that much out.
Yeah.
That what did not take. Brilliant. What else did I pick up on?
You would have picked up that he did not want to talk to you.
No, nobody ever wants to talk to me. That's not uncommon there. Because I'm the one guy that they all know could do their job in the hospital and chooses to be on an AV, and they think that I think I'm better than them.
It's not a personality thing. It's when you started asking questions about the Boris in particular.
Gotcha. That makes sense. All right. I'll hang up and go. See? Now I know everything I need to know. We can go by the hospital, pick him up, and find out what he knows. Because somebody has leverage on him.
Also, maybe make sure that the dead guy is actually the dead guy. It's supposed to be the dead guy.
And
You
that's,
can't do that until you confirm whether or not there was also a gut shot. So if there is no bullet wound that they just left off the report, then there's a chance that it's not Boris. But we also can't confirm that this blood is Boris's.
So we should take some of that.
Dried blood?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd be surprised what I could. Never mind. She just kind of walks over and is going to cut a portion of the carpet and put it like she pulls out like a little.
Do I see any sign that forensics has been working on this at all?
on
The scene. We saw
Oh.
the tape, but inside, I don't see anything that makes it look like forensics has done shit.
you don't have like the little like plastic cones that they put down.
But
where
they'd
there's
pick that
evidence
up.
or-
But there'd be powder if they were doing fingerprints.
Yeah.
You'd see a swatch of carpet cut out just the same way she did. I mean, I know you can get DNA out of that. I was playing dumb because it's fun.
No,
But-
she's fully aware.
The fact that there wasn't already a swatch taken out of it was the part that got me. And part of the reason why I didn't care about pulling it, because that means somebody knows who everything is. It's easier to get it from someone live than trying to find the answers from the dead.
Also, when the bullet, was it pulled out with a knife or was it pulled out with tweezers?
Tweezers.
Okay. That could go either way.
All right.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like someone jammed something else in the hole to try to get the bullet out.
There's no way Willie's working that late. Dude's too much of a family man. We need to swing by the hospital no later than 6. And, well, at least I do. And then we should probably take that meeting. Need to find out what Eddie knows. Or who he's going to try and send to kill Yuri over there.
And you just see Yuri shuffle out of the bedroom at the mention of his name, holding like a t-shirt tightly enough that his knuckles are whitening, and he looks at you with like red misty eyes and says, "Kill me? Why you kill me?"
Why else would corporate exec meet with, no offense, Mr. Potemkins, but an average working person like yourself?
I like to think that he had a...
Why would he make this game if he had a heart, Mr. Potemkins? Why would he greenlight such a show if he actually had a heart, Mr. Potemkins? You are asking the wrong questions to the wrong people, or the right questions to the wrong people, or even the right questions to the right people. And he's decided that that makes you a liability. It's easier and cheaper to kill you than to hear you out.
Give me, I'll be right back. Just let me know what you want to do right after.
And now we get to take over the world.
I'm not trying to freak him out, but he's got to come to his senses, y'all.
Also, she's gonna walk over and go, "Can I see your agent, please, sir? Very much kind. Yes, thank you.
No, you can't. It's my work agent.
Not yours. Yuri's.
Oh. Well, you'll have to tell Simon that.
Okay. She's going to pick his pocket and take that. So she'll sidle over to like Rin and Jinx and go, "So bets on if the dead guy is really his son and what we should do. Maybe tell him if it's not."
I mean, Rin and Jinx are the same person, but like, sure.
Well, shit, Reno and Jinx.
We should definitely tell him if it's his son or not, but bullets out of the walls, weird shit. I'd say it's at least a cover-up if it's not actually not him.
Well, I think the only way that we're going to answer this right now is to go with him to the morgue.
That's
Check
tomorrow,
out the body ourselves.
isn't it?
I thought that was today.
No,
The meeting with Flank is today.
Yeah. Flank is tonight, and Yuri has an appointment at the morgue the next day to make sure that, fill in the paperwork and all that.
Wait, do you have any contacts at the morgue? Is there any way we can do a sort of surprise inspection of some sort to before anybody else sort of gets in there and
I don't think
gimmicks
it's that
us?
important that it wouldn't have been done already. But we can always try. I'm just saying, it was yesterday when he died, and most of today's gone. And if he's supposed to show up tomorrow, I don't think they're going to wait till the last minute. That would be dumb. But hey, NCPD is full of a bunch of idiots, so it's possible. What do you want me to roll for who I know in the morgue? Because I'm sure I know more than one person in the morgue, being that I'm in an ambulance, and we get a lot of cases that don't make it.
Ooh, I could use charismatic impact at the morgue.
You want to put on a show?
Is that to put on a show? I thought that was just to earn fans. I mean,
Oh yeah. You can,
captive audience.
you can. Jesus. You can use it for a lot of things, but I'm afraid to say, X, that your performances are not enough to raise the dead. But yes, you know of a person that works at the morgue, a lady by the name of Sylvia Alvarez.
Okay. Is it like one of the coroners? Is it Dr. Alvarez, or is it one of the techs?
It's one of the techs. She's the lead tech there.
Okay.
I'll put her name in Zoom chat, and I'll have her file up on Roll20 fairly soon. But yes. Lead tech, she's been working there for 5 years. She's normally the one, whenever a younger tech has an issue with something, or whenever you need something done stat, you ask Sylvia. She gets shit done.
Okay. I'll text her and ask if the coroner's report was completed on Boris Potemkin's yet. I don't need to know anything else. I just need to know if the report's done.
It's done, yes.
Okay. How long ago? Was it today? Was it yesterday?
We'd be roughly... Yeah, it would have been the last one that they did this morning, so probably 11:30-ish, something like that.
Makes sense. All right. Thank you. And the coroner's report's already been filed. So whatever they needed to do should have happened before then. Unless they paid off or threatened that doc too. Either way, the paperwork is in. And this is a lot of effort to go for some dude that's playing the game. What do you all want to do next?
Well, we said we'd go with him to pick up the body of his son that may or may not actually be his son. So I think that's what we should be doing.
That's tomorrow.
Oh, I'm sorry. My hearing was off.
Tonight he has the meeting with Flank, which I'm pretty sure is not out of the goodness of Mr. Flank's heart. I have yet to meet a CEO that would do that, especially at night.
I am definitely going to go with the theory that this is a bad idea and we shouldn't be there.
Okay,
we should definitely not be there.
If we don't go, that means they're going to come looking for Yuri.
Can he maybe text them back and say something stupid like he can't get there because...
You know, I'm
You got
kind of
shot in the
curious.
knee? I'm sure Reno can help with that.
We're not going to shoot anybody in the knee
And
That could fix it.
or head.
I
Jimenez
just
says,
got off a
pointing
long shift.
accusingly.
I don't. It was a short shift, but it was super long.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
not
sorry. Are you
fixing
okay?
anyone's bullet wounds.
We
No, somebody's head exploded and almost killed two trauma team members. I'm not
Are you
okay.
actually okay? And then she'll like kind of go over and like make sure that you're physically okay, which is gonna look
Of
really
course I'm
freaking
fine.
strange.
Well,
This game is out of control.
we can't just stand around and let this opportunity slide, so we should probably go. But, you know, not actually be there for the meeting. Maybe we should just scope out the place and see what Mr. Flank has laid out and flip the tables. I know a guy. He's very quiet, doesn't speak much.
Oh, I love those types.
I mean, I do appreciate. We're talking about the justice mime, right?
Yuri says the what?
It's
He's this
an
really cool.
internet
He's a really cool.
brave.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's like he's got this whole following and this whole bit, and he's like actually a really good superhero kind of dude. There's like art and everything.
Does that mean you're? And he looks to Eamon as you don't want to do it. I understand if this is too much. It's just I thought.
I think it's better that you don't know what we're doing, but I think you need to find someplace a little safer to hang out.
Yeah,
The news.
that's good advice.
The news say that the game isn't played outside of city limits.
Do you have family outside of city limits?
I have family in San Francisco.
Well,
I can call a couple of people and get them transported to there.
Well, he still needs to take care of business tomorrow at the
Yeah.
morgue, so
that's too far.
I don't know. I mean, maybe we can put him up in our building for a night or two.
It
And then
has to be
arrange
it has to be somewhere where people won't think of looking for him, so that would work. It's not like we don't have empty apartments.
Trins, have you pulled the the receiver out of his agent yet and destroyed it?
I'm going to assume that I have. Because she asked for the agent to pull it apart.
If your life is in danger, this is worth it. If it's not, it's easy for Trins to fix it. And we'll
This
know
is so easy.
by the time we've gone to help you pick up your son's body. Okay?
All right. Okay.
Just means you can't communicate with it. You can still see all the information that you have on it. So you aren't losing any of your photos of your son or anything like that that you need for memories.
Okay.
You just can't send signals or receive signals.
All right. All right. And he's still clutching the t-shirt in both hands.
We should probably leave, though.
Yeah.
You can keep the t-shirt.
I know a great person that I think would be perfect to help you deal with your grief.
You're gonna send her to Mrs. B or send him to Mrs. B?
Of course.
Yeah, she'll cook him a hot meal.
And nobody gets by Mrs. B.
Very true.
So you bring Mr. Potemkins and the rest of the crew back to your apartment and drop him off at Mrs. B's apartment. And get ready for the night?
Yeah.
We're gonna take the RV.
What kind of recon did you want to do, Carl?
Well, we'll just stake out the place, see what's around, and see what we can do about flipping an ambush around on this Frank, if he even shows up.
I don't think he's going to be there. I don't think he's anything like well, no, I think he's everything like the people at the top. They never send themselves. They always send a middleman. A bagman, probably, in this situation. Not even a corporate person. And you can never trust a bagman.
Well, I mean, we can always do our usual thing. Jinx sets up as a sniper. Rita goes in hot. Trends in the getaway, and I don't know if you want to accompany Reno to that meeting, but I'll go too. But I'm going to stick to the shadows where I can spring up on things.
Makes sense.
I like this plan.
We've only got a few hours. We better make them count.
The location of this meeting is in a disused law firm on the edge of what was once the corporate center of Night City, which is now just a massive pile of rubble.
Well, shit. We need radiation protection then. You get that close, you've got radiation poisoning.
It's the type, it's at a somewhat safe distance, meaning that if you don't stay there for more than a couple of hours, you might come out with a headache, but that's it. It is not, however, the place where someone would set up shop permanently, unless they were wearing a full radiation suit all the time.
It also doesn't make sense to have a good faith meeting at a place like that.
I don't really see any other enticing options either. If nobody shows up, then they're just going to come after anyone involved. At least this way, we might as well have an opportunity to head it off instead of having to look over our shoulders for the rest of a week or two.
Are we going to try and pick up Wellington?
I think we can follow up with him later. Seem like he's going anywhere.
No, he's not going anywhere. But he knows something.
Do you have any ibuprofen, by the way? I'm feeling a little sore.
I bring mine out. She's always got it on hand. Chronic pain,
It's
unite.
Yeah, it's in a Pez dispenser.
What kind of Pez dispenser would Reno carry?
Rena would probably carry like one of the really like cool vintage ones. My ex-husband collects Pez dispensers. He's got a lot of weird ones.
You have a Batman Pez dispenser?
Yeah, like the classic Batman, you know?
The blue and black one? I know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And yeah, he'll wash a couple of those pills down with some found familiar iced coffee.
And as you get prepped for the meeting tonight, that's where we're gonna end today's session. And be there for next week as we finally meet the maker, question mark, of Last Man Standing. And maybe get some answers as to what's been going on in Night City.
When do we ever get answers for anything, really?
No. The best we can hope for is headshots
It's
and
Mullen
suplexes.
Steel 2. Mullen Steeler.
I have to say, a Johnny Silverhand Pez dispenser.
Yeah.
CDPR has to
Silverhand
work
Pez
on that for the collector's edition. I want my Keanu Reeves
great.
Pez dispenser.
It's great.
So, thank you everyone for coming tonight. Thank you to all of you who followed. Thank you for the bits. Thank you to the people watching on YouTube. Let's go around the table. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, what projects you have going on. We'll start with Reno.
Yeah, that's me, Adelaide Gardner. I play Reno. Right now, I still have Fate Forge Academy that's running, that airs on Fridays. I have a soon-to-be show on Saturdays that is not announced yet. And I am also starting my own shows that I am running on Action_Fiction's Twitch channel, where our lovely Chris Gieri will start off running myself and another group of femmes through a Castle Palpatine game, which we are very, very excited about. It is fully cosplayed, as well as I just announced our Vampire the Masquerade game that will be on Sunday evenings. And that is going to be led by Spicy Curry Bread, where they are playing an anarch group that is trying to take down the Camarilla from getting billionaires on their side, called Drain the Rich. And we're very excited about that. So go check those out. Those are upcoming soon in the next couple of weeks.
Cool. Jimenez, you're next.
Hey, my name's Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. I do have a website. I should probably start plugging that a little bit more. That's just aninogaming.com. There, if you want to catch up and check out some of my favorite clips or the Jimenez flash fiction that I've been pushing out on the side. It's all located there. As far as my upcoming appearances on other streams, I'll leave it up to my fellow cast members to outline it, because it's their toys and I am just playing some rather insouciant people within their groups. So that's it.
That's one way to put it. Jinx, where can we find you?
Hey, I'm Ren. You can basically find me here every Friday. Otherwise, I'm lurking in the background. At Heaven's Night on Twitch, on Twitter, Burns Through the Rain on Twitch. Yeah, that's about it.
Mr. White.
Thanks again, Chumbas, for hanging out with all of us. My name is Chris Geary. You can find me on Twitter at Chris Geary. You can find me here on Friday evenings, reprising my role as Mr. White, aka Dr. Frost, and every other Monday, like Adelaide said, over on Action Fiction, as I resume my role as host of a new season of Castle Falkenstein. For all of you who may have caught some episodes here on Wandering DM, we've had 3 seasons, and I promise you there will be some, I call them Easter eggs. They're bits of information, lore, facts, things that have come up in the past that could rear their head again in Constantinople.
On Istanbul.
Now I have that song stuck in my head.
We sang it when we were doing our session 0. It was just a very fun, now it's stuck in our heads party.
So I'm gonna issue before we go to Trins, I'm gonna issue real quick a challenge to Adelaide and her group, and I think Deirdre will agree with me. You have to make sure that the entire run of your Castle Falkenstein game takes place in less than a day.
Oh, that's gonna be.
I mean,
Our
That's-
record
that's
so
half
far
the
is 2
time.
days. Yeah.
That's half the
no,
time
our
of
record,
theirs.
our record, we got to day 3 last season.
okay.
We got to day
No.
3.
You got to day 3.
Last season,
okay.
you got further than that.
Yeah,
No,
but not
we
the
got-
train season.
Not the train season and not the
no,
season
last season
before.
we only got to day 3. We got to day 4 last. Oh, we did get to day 4. We finally got to day 4 right at the end.
Yep.
Anyway,
I'll work on it.
yeah, the goal is to spend all of your time flirting and drinking, and
We're already sword lesbianing it up in the plotting, so just be prepared.
I support this.
Yeah.
so yeah, Trins, you're next.
Oh, hi y'all. You know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter or Praxagorth as me4. You see me around on Twitch. And yes, I do support Go Watch Action Fiction's Castle Falkenstein game and their vampire game. But like, I want to know what's going on, and I'm going to be checking that out. And I am all about Castle Falkenstein and the fun times that is.
It's another Artelsorian game. Haha.
It is. It is a fabulous Artelsorian game. That is a sponsor of this channel, so don't have to say not sponsored. I am too ingrained on that one. But as for me, you can find me tomorrow over on my channel, Praxagorth as Meaphoria, for 8 p.m. Eastern for episode 3 of The Regiment, as we travel over the hills and far away, watching the drama of this British cavalry unit, both the drama of their personal relationships and the high tense drama of treasonous horse theft and dangerous fires is where we left things off. So remember to BYOT, bring your own tea, and join us for Drama and Tea over on my channel. Anino will be there, reprising the wonderful role of Cleveland Griffiths, who last episode had a great, wonderful family bonding conversation with his sister.
Well, he's got a
was
great
so
name. I
happy.
would bond over that. Cleveland
You know.
Griffiths? What a name.
Thank you.
His sister was just expressing her concern for him. And then on Monday, I can officially say this now because it's been announced, you can find me at 3 p.m. Eastern over Encounter Roleplay for some Song of Ice and Fire as we travel to the north. And there will be a lot of friends in the channel, Billy and Bill of the Forest and a couple other people that are really great, fabulous people. Trooper is one of them. And that'll be premiering on Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then I'll be back here Friday. That's me. But check my Twitters because I always post where I'm going to be, and all the wonderful, fabulous people like these fine folks I get to hang out with every week and have fun with.
And I'm Simon at Wandering DM. Thank you everyone for coming. Once more, thank you to all of our sponsors, Artelsorian, Roll20, Magen Press, Found Familiar, and our partners, Level Up Dice. You can find me, speaking of Level Up Dice, tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern over on LUD's channel as we begin our second actual session. We did world building in session 1 last week. And then session 2 is tomorrow afternoon of Scion, Birth of the New Gods, where our baby godlings are slowly getting entangled. What is it, session 3? No, there was
Yeah,
world
we did
building?
world build, and then we had the intro where everybody was getting together, or all the intro scenes of everybody.
Yeah, but
together.
what I mean is,
Yeah.
like, this is going to be the third session, but the second where we're actually playing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Unless I missed a week at some point, and for some reason I have absolutely no remembrance of DMing a game.
I mean, I was counting it as 3, but
Okay.
sure.
But yeah, be sure to check it out, and then we're gonna be back here on Monday for Rime of the Frost Maiden, and dealing with big bad wolves and kids in the snow, and then Friday for Cyberpunk. There's a few news that are gonna come up over the course of the week, so make sure to follow my Twitter, and that's it. I will see you next week then. Have fun, everyone. Have a good night. Woof. It's Friday. It's over. Bye bye.